Aquarius, honey, I was just having a little giggle. Happy new moon in Virgo in, your eighth house of it's the lions and tigers and bears portion of the chart where it's like a little bit scary. This is death, transformation, Scorpio run house. Death and rebirth, shared possessions, contracts, wills, the scary shit. I was laughing to myself because of the title of your video where I was basically like, you're catching them with the title of something. You're doing just what Barbie did. They're just, utilizing all of your nostalgia and just pitching all their freaking agendas. I'm sorry. Things move in my home very often, so it's just, you'll get used to it. If you have not been here before, hello, my name is Sarah. I am a healer. I'm a consciousness from a different time and space that has come down to this planet during this time of awakening to play human and to help you make sense of a little bit of the woo-woo and what's going on in the spirituality and the astrology, and just I'm here to help. I'd come from corporate and I've been training teams and leading people for over 10 years now within my human life, so I am more than qualified to help guide you during this time. So this grid is for Aquarius rising for the chart, but can always be watched by an Aquarius sun as well as an Aquarius moon. But I thought this is you're the only sign you understand the fringe and the whole thing of it, where I was just giggling to myself. Are you afraid of the dark? Don't be. If you are, actually, let's choose your own adventure. I'm going straight 90s right now. So are you afraid of the dark? Yes or no? Yes? All right. Turn the lights off, put on a scary movie, and start to harden or just whittle your tools in a way that is very, very, that gets it so that you can go through, okay, let me rephrase. The first time you go through the haunted house, I want you to go through the haunted house a second time and then a third time. So that guy is going to jump out over here. That's not even a real chainsaw. That is a real chainsaw, and I don't think that you actually work here, so I'm actually going to stay away from you. Maybe I should tell somebody because that's a real chainsaw. So, and then it's you know what I mean? Things don't intimidate you anymore. I want you to get so comfy with that. This could even be, my guides are telling me this is even as simple as saying no. That's a complete sentence. That's do you want to do this today, Aquarius? No. And not actually, I have something going on. I'm not going to be, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, maybe I'll show up if I rally. I'm just having a super anxious day, but maybe I'll rally. And if I do, I'll text you. Is it okay if I text you maybe a little while? Is that okay to you? Is that all right? Is that all right? Is that all right? North Node's in your house of communication. You don't have to justify anything. You don't have to rationalize anything. You don't know anybody anything. Do you want to do this? No. Say it shaking, say it crying, say it physically uncomfortable, so that by the time you get to the point where you're in an actual scary spot, when you're in an actually intense, intimidating spot, you're going to say, I have been exercising this term, so I'm ready to use it, and it does not scare me. No. No, that's not for me. That is absolutely not for me. In any way is that for me? No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. So, all right. Mercury is retrograde in this house. Very seriously for my professionals, Mercury will go direct the day after this new moon. So many planets are retrograde right now. If you are signing something, wait until next Monday, for the love of sweet Jesus Christ. Wait until the very least the 18th. Possibly wait until the next week. No. If you have to sign something, the 18th is the week to do it. Don't sign anything the week of the full moon. Follow the astrology. JP Morgan quote, millionaires don't follow astrology, but billionaires do. So for my professionals, if you're at a juxtaposition, if you're at a point in the road that you need to make a very big decision right now, call me. We can book a one-on-one session. I literally had a client this week that is having do I stay with this company that or do I go? Let's look at it all with the spiritual lens. You don't have to understand all the spiritual stuff. You just have to have the lens of what's going on that's outside my breadth of knowledge. When you get to the tippity top, my CEOs, my entrepreneurs, what is the one thing you need up there that will actually sustain you? team. Prove me wrong. You cannot do what you're trying to do alone. You cannot do it. Prove me wrong. No, don't prove me wrong. That's absurd. Why would you ever want to do something? Oh, it's a trauma response. Oh yeah, all those little things. Like, don't do that. Don't attempt to do something alone. That's not what you're meant to do, honey. You're meant to be the artist. You're meant to be the King Arthur. You're meant to be the one that is strong enough to pull Excalibur, but you need to have a Merlin. You need to have guides. You need to have knights. Even if you're playing chess, it's not just you up there as the king or queen. You have all the pawns, you have the rooks, you have the knights, you have the, like, you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. Yes, when you're the king or the queen alone on the board, it's possible to sometimes manipulate it and to win the game, but to what end? You sacrificed your whole motherfucking team to get there. Sorry for swearing. I'm not sorry for swearing. Don't be scared. Don't be scared of how powerful you are. Don't be scared of this axis. It's the lions, the tigers, and bears. This is money, access to resources, values. You've got 2 retrograde planets over here, and then we have our inner planets, the sun and the moon, and the Mercury retrograde over here. This is the financial axis of the chat. Don't be scared. If you're scared of something, dramatize it. Dive into it. What is the worst case scenario? Play it out in your head. So then when you actually get to the moment, it will never be as difficult. It will never be as hard. It will never be as dramatic as your beautiful imagination can paint it to be. But bubble it. If there's a fear in there, get it out. Get it out. Because then that broken, nasty, really poisonous record is playing in your brain that will sink itself into a negative side of this new moon, where I need you to bubble and speak. This is my greatest fear. Ooh. We got nothing in that house. So you've already gone through this. Okay, I'm sorry. The South Node went through Scorpio from January 2022 into last July 2023. So you've gone through this like really seemingly negative view of yourself publicly. Maybe you had an ego death, maybe you got divorced, maybe something happened, and it's just like you're aware that the view of yourself for a moment was less than stellar for a minute. Less than stellar. Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Don't get intimidated by that and not communicate in the way that you actually know that you need to communicate. Now the North Node's in your house of communication. I don't know, Aquarius, I really just would love to prep you for big chats, like adult chats and adult contracts and things like that. So if there's something that you're afraid of, if there's something that you really egoically, spiritually, metaphysically are afraid of, declare it. It's not good vibes only around here. We fucking discuss and deep dive into our traumas to the point of there's nothing underneath that anymore. I'm done. I'm ready. I've learned the lessons that I need to learn, and then I can move on. Because we could deep dive into trauma after trauma after trauma. You can say, I am the way that I am because this, that, and the third happened to me, all these different things, but we don't label them on our lapel. We bubble them. We say, this is my greatest fear. I want to dramatize it. I want to be ready for it. So then if a situation was to come in front of me, I know it's not ever going to be as bad as the way that I've dramatized it. It's never going to be as difficult as the way that it was. Pluto that fucked up your house of soul purpose since 2008. Like, it will never be as transformative and as difficult as it was. I just would love for you to nourish your communication and facing these moments, not as the old you, but as the developed you, who does not shy away from what scares them, who faces it head on and say, I can figure this shit out. I'm not afraid of you. I don't want to do that. That's not my reality. No. And Venus in Leo actually directs right now the people that are meant to be in your life can effortlessly handle you and your new communication and who you really are. Like, it'll be without batting an eye, without question. That's it. That's it. You're doing great. What are your greatest fears? Talk about them, label them, and what's underneath that. Call me if you need a reading. I'm here for you.